Life of Letty. Though my friends have experienced what most humans refer to as love, I've been fortunate enough not to have experienced this. From what I have gathered, love seems quite troublesome. Ivy, Ruby and Bonnie, who are accustomed to this emotional area, have created 5 stages of a crush. Number 1, interest. Number 2, advanced research. Number 3, compatibility. Number 4, denial. And number 5, conclusion. The first stage is interest. The fundamental thing about interest is to notice something good about someone. Even though this may lead to just liking them as a friend, there is still a chance for romance to materialise. For example, Ivy, a poor soul who fell in love, started loving a boy in my class when she realised he shared common interests with her. He was also kind, and according to her, he was good looking. Her feelings developed for him the more she found out, and still to this day, love lingers in our heart. Even I manifested interest in year 3 when I was intrigued by a boy's quote-unquote coolness. However, I quickly changed my interpretation of him because of his poorly chosen conversation topic. His conversation was based on how Germans have huge noses. The dilemma with this topic is the fact that my dad is German, so I took this personally. That is how to successfully avoid producing more symptoms of love. Identify the bad things about the person of interest. Advanced research is the second stage. I prefer to call this stage the stalking stage, due to my friends having interesting ways of investigating their crush. The stalking stage isn't literally someone stalking their crush to their accommodation. It is based on keeping up with them on social media, like their relationship status, staring at them whenever you get the chance, or even dragging your poor friend to go up to him and ask about his hobbies and types. However, this is not always the case. Ruby found out what club her crush went to, and she managed to convince me to go, even though I was not fond of the idea of tennis club. My hand-eye coordination is horrendous. When we went to the club, I was struggling to keep up with her emotions, for she was fawning over her crush's attractiveness and his amazing ability to hit the ball with a tennis racket. It's beyond me. I ended up returning to that club only to understand her behaviour when it comes to him. Sadly, I never did, and it's still a mystery to this day. Somehow, many have reached the third stage, compatibility. The symptoms of this stage include mentally noting similarities, taking quizzes, a lot of quizzes. Perhaps you prefer the old-fashioned love me not flower, or perhaps you're more into astrology. Bonnie fell what I believe you humans say head over heels in love with this person. She found out more about her crush and started to tell me that they are destined to be together. At this time, this new Star Wars film came out. She watched it and she didn't really hold any strong opinions towards it. She didn't necessarily like it nor dislike it. However, once I came to her saying that her crush enjoyed the new Star Wars film, let's just say her opinion drastically changed. I believe what went through her mind at the time was, he likes Star Wars? Well, I can too. We are fated to be together. Simply put, this is compatibility. This is one of the most troublesome stages for your friends, since you ignore reality and abandon them for your new world with your beloved one. To avoid developing these symptoms, avoid them. Eventually you'll drift apart. This is one of the most painful stages of all. Denial. This is a stage where you lose all hope to be in a relationship with your crush. Denial is like a sudden wave of reality when you wake up in the morning. The dull, harsh reality. The victim lowers their self-esteem and starts to think they are no good for their loved one. When Ivy fell in love with Matthew, she had a hard time, since there were rumours that he loved her close friend rather than her. She then started seeing herself as inferior to others. She started to insult herself more, and she was in deep sadness for a whole month. When you come to this stage, ask your friends what they love most about you and remember their answer. It seems simple, but it helps a lot. Since you couldn't prevent this from happening, you incompetent being, we are at the final stage of love, the conclusion. There are 3 possible conclusions. The first 2 are the hardest to deal with: rejection and forever on the sidelines. The last possible conclusion is a relationship. Rejection is when you confess, however they do not reciprocate your feelings. If this happens, drop whatever plans you have on the weekend, watch movies and eat to your heart's content. It helps forget the pain, hopefully. However, in contrast to rejection, forever on the sidelines is when someone couldn't muster up enough courage to confess, or waited for the other one to make the first move, and therefore the relationship never developed. Despite avoiding the pain of rejection, it is highly likely for you to grow old waiting. If you find yourself in this situation, I prescribe you a high dosage of cake. If that method doesn't suit your fancy, watch multiple films until you fall in love with one of the actors. Love, in reality, is bothersome to deal with. The last conclusion is relationships. Yay! You have reached the end. Oh wait, I was mistaken. Actually, there are many problems ahead, but that's a story for another time. And I know what you're thinking. And to answer your question, yes, love is that annoying. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, give a like and maybe subscribe. And yeah, that concludes my video.